Hello, and welcome to EC 101. My name is Austin Chen, and I'll be the instructor for this course. Here is my email. I will be holding my office hours every Monday from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. on Zoom to answer questions regarding the lecture. We have two TAs, Cameron and Assam, for this course. They will also be your lab instructors. They will be holding office hours on Monday and Thursday, recitation sessions on Tuesday and Wednesday, and lastly, the lab session on Friday. Here's the textbook required for this course. The textbook is available for download simply by clicking on this link. The book also provides additional exercise problems for practice, and the solution manual is available for download as well. Here are some prerequisite topics that you're expected to know for this course. In particular, in two of the lectures, we will be using differential equations, both first order and second order, quite extensively to analyze the circuits in the time domain. We'll also be using complex algebra, imaginary number, polar, and Cartesian when we analyze circuits in the frequency domain. And that will be the topic following the time domain analysis. Here's the course agenda. So the course can be broken down into three major sessions. So first, we will look at some of the circuit laws, KCL, KVL, Ohm's laws, and then we will look at several different circuit analysis techniques, including voltage division, current division, nodal analysis, mesh analysis, superposition, source transformation, and lastly, Thevenin and Norton equivalent circuits. So I have also listed the chapters for reading assignment over here. Then we'll move on to look at the first order RC and RL circuits, and they will be analyzed using first order linear differential equation. Similarly, for the second order RLC circuits, we will use second order linear differential equations to analyze the circuit in the time domain. The last part of the course is related to frequency domain analysis. So we will be using complex algebra, and we will learn about impedance and admittance, and we will analyze the circuit in the so-called steady state, which is also known as AC analysis or phasor. We will also briefly talk about frequency response, which includes the so-called Bode plot, both the magnitude and the phase. Here is the lab schedule. So the first lab will be this coming Friday on August 2nd. And the last lab, which is optional, will be on August 23rd. Note that the midterm exam will take place on August 13th, and the final exam will be on August 29th. Here's the grading policy. So homework will account for 10% of your grade, and we have altogether 9 sets of homework assignments, and only 2 sets will be collected and graded by your TA. We have 2 online quizzes, and that will account for 20% of your grade. So that means 10% each for the quiz. The midterm exam will be 30%, and the remaining 40% will go to your final exam. Here's the exam policy. Exams will be in class, and you're allowed to bring one A4 size double-sided crib sheet, and it must be handwritten. Calculator is also allowed. And given the tight schedule we have, unfortunately, there will be no makeup quizzes or exams given. I have the key deadlines here for your reference. So we have our first homework due on August 6th. And then after that, we will have our first online quiz on the 8th. A couple of days later, on the 13th, we have our midterm, and this will be taken during class time. Homework 2 will be due on August 20th. Followed by that is the online quiz 2, which will take place on the 22nd. And then lastly, the final exam will take place on the 29th.